super tragic. My mics weren't working for last video, and I'm gonna have to re-record that video. I'm really sad about it because now like there's just no sound because this was plugged into the other end, so it picked up no sound, and hate that for me because it took some takes. Anywho, but what up, friends? It's your girl E, your favorite purple hair notary, and we're back with another notary video. And this video is going to be about tools that you need to be a loan signing agent, notary signing agent, essentially a notary who works with real estate documents. Now, that has been my primary service. I do, if it needs a notarization, I'm in there. Like, holla at your girl, like, sign me up. I'm coming through and notarizing those docs. But I spent my time in focusing in the real estate world, which now I want to like venture out into other markets, other than real estate. But you're gonna need some extra supplies. So really you only need like 4 things to be a notary, and I have a video on that. You don't need a lot. You don't need, you don't need a lot of things to be a notary. And I do have like what's in my notary bag, so that's a lot of things that I use to live my notary life. Check out that video. But you are gonna need like some extra things to be a notary signing agent, and they are not cheap. Coming off being sick. Yeah, those things are not cheap. So if you don't force yourself into the signing agent world, like study, get your bread up, buy the things. If you have the money, like by all means, like go ahead, do your thing. But I think that starting in the general notary work world is a great place to start, and you can make just as much money, if not more, than being a notary signing agent. But that's a discussion for another day. So the first thing that you're going to need is a printer. Dual tray printer is preferred because these packages, they vary. Currently, companies that I work with, they're around like 120 to like 150, but other packages, definitely I've done packages that are 200 and up. Insane. So yes, you're gonna need a dual tray printer. That's preferred. You can start with the single tray. On my personal channel, my vlog channel, I shared that I lost my apartment and lived in a house and in a fire, so I had to start over. So I did start over because I couldn't afford buying the dual tray. Inflation like a motherfucker. Inflation is crazy. And so I started with the single tray again to, basically restart because I still had to be out here working, and I still needed my printer. So I got the single tray, and once I started getting, rebuilding, I then got the additional tray to make my life easier. I will probably make another video to show you how you can use a single tray printer in the meantime. But you're definitely going to need a printer. I do often see people asking groups, why do you need like a laser jet versus getting the ink? And that's just because the ink smears. We don't want that. We don't want it smearing. You're printing a lot of documents, and we want to make sure that essentially like these are pristine documents. They are in tip-top shape. They're being filed with the county. These are, public records, stuff like that. So that's why you're going to get a laser jet versus the ink. And yes, so with your printer also comes with you having to buy toner. That's an additional cost. And next up, you're gonna need a scanner. Some people start without having a scanner and go to like public places to scan documents back. I do not recommend that because you are walking around with people's confidential information, and you're uploading it to somebody else's cloud and having it here and having it there. We don't want to do that. You have social security numbers, addresses, like I said, personal information. We do not want to do that. I have an Epson I think like 400, something like that. My printer is a Brother. I'll link everything down below, but I have a Brother 6200 printer. My scanner is from Epson. I keep that in the car like all day. It stays in my car. I'll do scans in the car. Sometimes I'll bring it up to the signer's house and I'll scan the documents back in there. But you're gonna need a scanner. I have one where I'm not sure how much like fits in the feeder, but if I have like a package that's maybe like 150, I'll probably take like half, maybe in thirds, something like that. Either have, either split it in half or split it into thirds, about approximately, and scan the documents. I did have like a smaller one. I think I bought it for like $100 when I first started my notary business, and it wasn't big enough. But if you have to do what to do and start with a smaller scanner that maybe only does like 25 pages, you know, at a time, then do what you gotta do. It's better than like trying to do it on your phone. That's gonna take like 10 years, especially if you have a large package. But if you need to start with like a scanner that only does like I said, like 25 pages at a time, do your thing, do what you got to do. And then when it's time, when you're ready to upgrade, if you get to that point in your business, then you're ready to upgrade. And but if you're also doing this with direct to title companies, things like that, or going to the attorney's office, more often than not the attorneys will scan the documents back for you. But as I like to say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. In some instances, I definitely will still have to scan them back, and especially if you're working with signing services, you have to scan them back before you put them in the mail anyway. It saves me time from going all the way home. Some people will go home and scan back. I'm not doing that. I'm often traveling, so I am going to find the closest FedEx or UPS and drop the documents off. So with the scanner, you then also, I have a little inverter. I'll link, like I said, I'll try to link everything below so you can check it out. But I have a little inverter. Some people put like these big like inverters in their cars. I don't have a lot of space to do that, so I'm not doing that. But I have a little inverter and I put it in the cigarette lighter, plug in my scanner, and scan the documents. If you follow me on TikTok or some of my other videos, you'll see me scanning in my reels. I include them, me scanning documents back. So I have that. And then also you're definitely gonna need a laptop, right? So I have a MacBook. I didn't buy it for it. I just prefer to use Apple products. It's just me, but you don't have to. I started for my notary. I had a Microsoft Surface Pro that was like my notary laptop, my notary computer. My MacBook would just stay home. But now I no longer have that the Surface Pro, so I just take my MacBook everywhere with me now. And so you're definitely going to need a computer to do all of these things, and email, communicate with title and such. When you're emailing the documents back, you're going to need to have all those things. Like I said, we don't want to be on public computers. I do know that some notaries do it just to start, but I just don't recommend it. I definitely had everything that I needed before I started. I just like to be ready. It's just me, but do what you like to do what you want to do. Um folders and shipping supplies. So now I do have like regular manila folders that I put the documents in. I think it helps with presentation. I have a TikTok video about how an investor that I met, and I've done a few of his closings. um he loves my presentation because he's an investor. He does closings all the time. He sees notaries come out to him very often, and he's very impressed with my presentation. Like, it sounds like, okay, yeah, sure, everyone's going to put it and make it organized. No, they're not. I've seen notary horror stories. So make sure you are you're in tip top shape, you're good to go. And I like to be organized and neat, and so make sure that you're organized and neat because it will show people will want to use you again. Like now he only wants to use me just because of how the presentation of myself, presentation of the documents, and just like how organized and neat that I am throughout the process. So that's a little tip for you there. Shipping supplies, you can get shipping supplies from FedEx and UPS for free. You create those accounts and you can get them for free, and I just order whatever I need, the packs, the envelopes, and I get them and I keep them in my car because those lines at UPS or FedEx can, like, especially during the holidays, ugh, hate it. And they don't offer them for free anymore. They charge you for it. And I'm like, something that I get for effing free, I gotta pay you? Nah. So I keep that shit in my car. I have extra in my folder that I carry with me, and I keep my supplies, like, in a drawer, but I got them everywhere just so, again, stay ready so I don't have to get ready. I'm not paying for the shit that I get for free. So make sure that you have your shipping supplies on deck. I do, like I said, I have rubber bands to hold the documents together. I do have binder clips, right? These are the smaller ones, but they have like the big one to hold like all the documents together. But like this is expensive, and I'm not shipping them back to like not get them. I'm not taking an L. Maybe if I'm, to where they don't matter, but these are expensive. So I just use the rubber bands to keep them together in the folder. And again, it still keeps them neat and it's still good for your presentation. And it's very affordable. I'm not like that bag of rubber bands look like it's never ending that I have. So get you a bag of rubber bands. I did talk about the small inverter. Have that on deck if you want to scan in your car. Like I said, I like to do, some notaries drive all the way back home. I'm not doing that. I just want to save time, like get in and out and like be good. So I do everything in my car, drop it off, get the approval, and like go to my next appointment, go about the rest of my day. I'm also a real estate agent, go on showings, like, do that. I have no time to go back home. None. So I like the idea of having the inverter in my car, or like I said, I'll scan it back. Or some people don't like to do it in the client's home. I let them know it's a part of the process. I bust everything out. I'm like, hey, once we're done, I'm gonna scan these back and wait for approval. If you don't hear back from me, that means we're all good. Documents were shipped out and call it a day. But you provide the service how you'd like to provide the service. That is how I provide my notary service. You're also going to need paper, duh, right? You're gonna need paper. You're gonna need legal and letter size paper because some loan documents are legal and letter size. I don't know why, but it is. And yeah, so those are gonna be a few things that you need to be a loan signing agent. It's given. I do have like where you're gonna need your journal, your pens, your stamp. I don't think that I have to say that, but I do have another video about that. You're also going to need those. So yeah, so you're going to need all of those things to help you be an organized loan signing agent or notary signing agent, again, whatever you want to call it. But if you're working with the real estate documents, we have to remember that these are time sensitive documents, and everybody wants to get paid. So we want to make sure that we are as efficient as possible. Like that's why we're screaming like efficiency for you to be a notary signing agent. Like we have no time to play, no time to lag. I'm a real estate agent too. So I like if there's a notary like working on my deal, make sure you scan it back and make sure it's right, because my client either needs to sell their home or purchase their home, and we want to make sure that they get their keys, because if it's all effed up and we don't get funding, they can't get keys, they can't move in, it becomes like a whole thing. Rate locks can expire. We don't want to do this. Somebody's going to be tight, and we don't want to make anybody upset, because as agents we work really hard on these deals and it takes a long time, and depending on the client, sometimes the whole transaction was a nightmare. Don't make it worse for anybody. All right, that's not what we're trying to do. Everybody wants to get paid. The day that you close, everyone get paid, keys, like every funds are being dispersed. So make sure that you do everything correctly, get everything sent on time so that the deal is funded. Because then title, no one's gonna really wanna work with you if that's what we're doing out here. So make sure that you're sending everything off in a time. These are again time sensitive documents, so you need to be on your motherfucking A game when you are dealing with real estate transactions. Okay, so yes, that's just another tip for me. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please reach out down below. I'll love to answer them. I am now also collaborating with Notary Zero, and we are we are offering some notary training for you. I'll link that down at the bottom so you can inquire and we can kind of take it from there. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please like, share, comment, and yes, subscribe if you aren't subscribed. Yes, thank you again for coming. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.